Hey there guys, now today I'm going to be reviewing Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii. If you don't have this game, let me just get this out of the way. I know I've said this before, but I do not say this without warranty. Go get Super Mario Galaxy, because if you have a Wii and you don't have Galaxy, how could you? How could you not have this game? This game is just great. It's the true spiritual successor to Super Mario 64. I know a lot of people were somewhat disappointed with Super Mario Sunshine, and I thought it was a solid game. Just didn't really have the same charm Super Mario 64 had, the same inherent joy. You know, you had to kind of work to feel that same sense. At least that's what I got out of it. You know, I found it hard to progress too far into the game because there just wasn't that incentive of wanting to see all the different places, because, let's be honest here, Super Mario Sunshine wasn't particularly known for its level variety, aside from the bonus stages in which you lost the Flood backpack and got to do some crazy platforming. Now, a lot of people thought that was the best part of the game. Now, Super Mario Galaxy is no Sunshine. This really harkens back to the days of Super Mario 64, in which just exploring was great fun. It was one of the first 3D games, and as such, it just seemed like such a new experience, and I think a lot of people might find it hard to emulate that same type of feeling with any other game following it. Super Mario Galaxy succeeds in stirring those same emotions based on a number of reasons. Number one, the level design is just superb. This is Mario at its all-time best. I just, don't even get me started on the level designs. They're just excellent throughout. They make great use of the gravity mechanics. Hopping from one small sphere planet to the next is great. There's great variety in that sometimes you have to traverse over multiple small objects, and then sometimes you'll find yourself on a big level that reminds you of something out of Super Mario 64. You know, I think that Super Mario Galaxy might be the superior game to Super Mario 64. I have more memories of Super Mario 64, so it's a little hard to compare them evenly. But going back and forth between the two, you know, I might have to say Galaxy just might have a slight edge in terms of just the whole premise of it is unique in that, I mean, who would have ever thought there'd be a Mario game like this? And it turned out amazing. Some people I know were a bit nervous and skeptical at first with the announcement. They thought, you know, maybe there wouldn't be enough variety. I mean, it's all in space. How are they going to work around that? Well, Miyamoto was more involved in this than any other 3D Mario. And let me tell you, that really seems to do something for a game. When Miyamoto's involved, he just works his mojo, as the kids say, and gets the job done post-haste. Why did I say that? With amazing results. And Super Mario Galaxy, it's just great. And it has the distinction of being one of the games that actually visually separates the Wii from the GameCube. This is definitely a step up from GameCube visuals. Might not be completely on par with other next-gen systems. It's not HD, but it's still a great looking game regardless. And if you're playing on a standard definition TV, you know, it really doesn't matter. But anyways, yeah, while the visuals are nice and stuff, the meat of the game, the gameplay, is what's most important, right? You are definitely right, and Super Mario Galaxy does not disappoint in any regards. The controls work very well for anyone who's familiar with the button layout of Super Mario 64. Even though it's a completely different controller, you get the hang of it right away, and it feels very similar. It's very refreshing. Feels even slightly more fluid than its predecessor. And while there's not a huge amount of new techniques Mario has at his disposal. It does make a bit of difference, the new techniques. And another thing that came back in Super Mario Galaxy, not present in most 3D Mario games, are the power-ups. There are a couple new power-ups and some old mainstays like the Fire Flower power-up. But there's also Bee Mario, Boo Mario, there's the Ice Mario. It's just great. The only one that I have any complaints of regarding is the Spring Mario, because the controls, that's the only instance in the game in which the controls weren't spot on. And even then, you barely ever Spring Mario, so it by no means ruins the game in any way. I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a couple things about Super Mario Galaxy you didn't like. Difficulty, I'd say the meat of the game, well, until you technically beat the game by finishing Bowser off for the third time and seeing the credits and all that, I'd say it's a bit easier than Super Mario 64. You only have to get 60 stars to finish the game. But after that, the later stars, there's a noticeable hike in difficulty, but most of the game you won't have any problems with. But yeah, the difficulty should never be the determining factor of how fun a game is, and I know a lot of gamers tend to base their scores on difficulty, because if it's too easy, then it's not. No, you know what? Shut up, because who cares? I mean, especially with Super Mario Galaxy, are you honestly going to be complaining about how easy it is when you're having so much fun? Okay, so it's not really that easy. It's a little below moderately challenging, perhaps. I don't know. But anyways, oh boy. Oh yeah, story. Well, as we all know, Mario games are very well known for their storytelling. The depth of the character interactions, the sheer emotion. Okay, so there's pretty much nothing outside of the standard fare here. Bowser kidnaps Peach. That's really all you need to know. And are you going to complain about that? If you want story in a Mario game, go to the Paper Mario series, which is great, but that's another story. Super Mario Galaxy, at the end of the day, takes Super Mario 64, builds upon the foundation it built, and improves on it in some aspects, while seeming really fresh at the same time. So it's a new experience, but at the same time, it feels familiar. Now I'm happy with that, and so should you. This has been TMuffinMon of LB Reviews. I give this game a 10 out of 10, and that wraps that up. Peace, yo.